Hey everybody, it's a new season of Married at First Sight. This is Married at First Sight, season 13 in Houston. This is episode 1. It's titled Lone Star No More. This was a long ass 3-hour episode. I hope to God the rest of the episodes ain't that goddamn long. I really do. Because if they is, fuck this. I'm not gonna do it. This episode was just a lot of filler. We meet the new couples. Y'all got to bear with me because I can't remember all the names and faces. So we have to give me an episode or two to get that together. And because it was 3 hours, I'm going to try to run through this pretty quick. I was zoning out watching it. I might have missed a lot of stuff. But I'm going to do my best to stay there with me. And I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's going to be just all over the place. So just bear with me this first episode while I get my feet under me. It's been a while since the last season. I needed a break after that one. So just hang in there with me, alright? We'll get through this. We're going to start out with our first couple. I need to look at their faces because I'm trying to remember who they are. Marla. Is it Merla? I think it's Merla and Gil. Gil is a firefighter. And basically I think he's 35. He's just been hoeing all his life. And he's gotten to the point now where he's ready to stop hoeing. Wants to settle down and get married. That's what he say. I doubt it. He's a handsome dude. I don't know if I believe him when he says that though. But he know him better than I know him. He said he's looking for a 90s R&B kind of love. You know, deep, romantic, strong. I feel that. You know, he's what else did he say he was? He said he was Colombian. He's born and raised in Colombia. So he has that, you know, that spirit, that he has that connection to Colombia. He's an Afro-Latino. He likes dancing, cooking, singing, all that good stuff, you know. He said that his dad was killed in a home invasion, and because of that, he has problems trusting people. You know, he's not very quick to let people in. You know, he's got to get to know you. He has to build up trust with him. He's not very quick, and that's been a problem in his past relationships. And I can see why. I don't know what his dad being killed has to do with it, but he says it's connected. I don't really think it is. I don't see how it could be connected unless he was killed by somebody they knew. I don't know. But he says it's connected. He talks to his friends. His friends think he's full of shit because he seems like a guy who could get in. He's a very handsome, in shape dude. He said he can get any woman he wants. If he's single, there's got to be something up with him. You know, that's what I hate saying that, but it's hard to believe that he is single. It really is. Because don't nobody want him? I don't think that's the case at all. I think he's just used to just sleeping around. And he wants somebody to take that option off the table. Where, like, you're married. You're not, you know, if it was up to him, he would just knock boots and be on. But he's going to get thrown into a marriage, and I think he figures that's the best way to go about it. I don't think so, but that's how he wants to do it. You meet Merla. What is that her name? Merla? We'll figure it out. And her friends don't think she's ready to get married. I thought that was funny. They were like, you're not gonna get married. And I feel like with Merla, I feel like with a lot of women on this, for this season they talked about, I don't think they actually want to get married. They don't want to be married. They want to get married, but they don't want to be married. Which I guess is a thing. That's just what I'm hearing. It could be wrong, but that's what I'm hearing. They want to get married, but they don't want to be married. Because Merla was saying, like, she's not going to change anything about herself. She's going to be bougie. She's going to do what she wants. She's going to buy what she wants. And she wants a man that's going to basically just go along with that. No pushback. Nothing to say. He's just there for no fucking reason. And her friends were like, that's not going to work. Because all she wants to do is be bougie, stay at home, doing her thing, and pampering herself. She believes in self-care. Because I guess she grew up poor. She didn't have a lot of things. So now that she's an adult and she has the money, she wants a lot of things. and she wants to do everything, and she wants to just get pampered all the time and just buy everything she sees, which is understandable. But in a marriage, you can't just do that. But she's like, man, in my marriage, I'm gonna just do that. And her friends were like, that ain't gonna work. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's gonna work. Moving on to but honestly, with Merla, I like her. But I don't think she's ready for getting married. Oh, this couple here. Michaela and Zach. Let me see. Yeah, Michaela and Zach. Zach says I think Zach was 27. I think Merla and Gil were both 35. I think Zach and this season they got the ages pretty much everybody the same. There's no big age difference, which I think was a problem before, and they really got rid of that. And I'm happy they got rid of that. There is no big age gap. Everybody's like really much the same age or close to the same age. So I think Michaela is 30 and Zach is 27. That's 3 years. That's not that big a deal. You know, last year they'd have probably had a 30-year-old with like a fucking 19-year-old. They were like, oh, age is not like. But Zach said he's never been in love. His long relationship has been 9 months. And everything else has been like maybe 2 months, 3 months. I think he told him, like, dude, them just flings. It's not even relationships. You know, he come from a family of marriage. Like he said, his parents are married. You know, he's got 2 brothers, and one of the brothers is married. The other brother's in a long-term relationship, and he's never been that. He's never felt that. I don't like Zach, because Zach, the way he talks, it seems more like he's looking for a girlfriend. Like he's looking for like a girlfriend, not a wife. But he seems extremely emotional, extremely caring, and he seems like he wants to do this because he feels like this is his only chance he has to like being in love. And so he's gonna go all in, but he doesn't know what that means or what that entitles. He doesn't know anything. He really wants a girlfriend first, and he's getting married first, and I don't think that's gonna work out. And you got Michaela. I feel bad for Zach with her. Because when you first meet her, she seems so sweet. And then after she starts talking and you start listening to her, and you listen to her friends and family were like, there's no way you're getting married. She's too stubborn. And she is the main one that's like, I'm not going to change anything about me. Everything I'm doing when I'm single, I'm going to do the exact same thing married. And I'd be damned if you try to tell me I can't do the exact same thing married that I'm doing single. That's pretty much, her family was like laughing at her when she was like, I'm not going to change anything. Like, you really don't want to be married. She wants to be single, but get married, but be, like, she doesn't, she wants to get married, but she doesn't want to be married. You know, they say she's stubborn, she doesn't want to change, she doesn't want to do her own thing, and that is not going to be good in a marriage. She talk about her dad dying, and I don't know if that's why she's trying to get married, because her dad died, and he was like a protector who came, he spoiled her basically, and now there's no one spoiling her, and she just wants somebody to do that. I don't know what her motivation is. Just by episode 1, you can tell she does not want to be married. She just wants to get married. She doesn't want to be married. The whole wife thing and all this, like, together, compromise. Like, she was like, compromise my ass. Like, she doesn't want to be married. I don't know why she's here. Later on, she adds, I don't know why I'm here. But that's Michaela and Zach. Next is Bao and Johnny. This couple here is the only couple I give a chance, because they are so much alike. Johnny is OCD. He's very picky. He said he's single because he's very picky. He's looking for certain specific things in a woman, and if there isn't that, then he just can't be with her. And he's very hygienic. He's super clean. And, you know, when he's big into sports, and he's just, the thing is that he says he wants a girl that's more into him than he is into her, because he's afraid to open up, because he didn't grow up in a family. You know, a traditional Asian family, they weren't very emotional. They didn't open up, so he has all these feelings, but he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be the first to say I love you. He doesn't want to be the first to give you a hug. He doesn't want to be the first in a relationship to do anything. He wants her to basically okay it, or her to be like, I love you. That he's like, oh God, I love you too. Because he doesn't want to be the first. That's just the issue he has of controlling. He wants to control a relationship, but he doesn't really want to. Oh, he said it. He explained it very well, and I'm fucking it up. It doesn't. It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. He doesn't want to be first, because you know that's the issue he has with opening up. He doesn't want to open up by how he feels or what he thinks. But he feels like him going second is a position of control. His feelings can't be hurt if he doesn't go first. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to protect his feelings so they don't get hurt. If he says I love you first and you don't say it back, it hurt his feelings. And he doesn't like that. He would rather you say it first so that he has control over whose feelings get hurt. It's not a good philosophy, but that's probably why he's single. That is why he's single. Is that he's afraid to do anything in a relationship. He's scared. And he said, you know, his dad left, and when he was young, and his dad went to California, they stayed in Houston, and he's always tried to get his dad's approval or, you know, blessings or for anything he does, whatever it is. And, you know, that ain't been working. So he's nervous about his dad finding out he's doing this because he knows his dad's not going to approve. So he tells the rest of his family, but he doesn't tell his dad. And when he does tell his dad pretty much just shits on the whole idea. Like, that's not how you're supposed to do it. His dad, I guess, is very traditionally Asian, which is weird because he cheated on his mom. And I think the thing, and I don't understand how his dad cheated on his mom, left the state, didn't stay in touch, like, wasn't a part of your life, but he puts his dad in such a high position in his life that everything he does has to run through his dad, who's not even there and has never been there. I don't know. I don't get that. And then you meet Bao. I love Bao. Bao's nice. She's sweet. She says she's the introvert. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like she says, oh, I'm quiet, I'm introverted, I'm this, I'm that. But she's like the hardest partier there. She's very social. She's very loud, too. She seems like she's very quiet and meek. She's very loud. I think she says she's one way, but in actuality, she is another way. And she's just like Johnny. You know, she's very OCD, very picky, very precise. Wants everything clean. Like, they're the same with that. And she said she has a love of spreadsheets. Well, she basically organizes every decision she makes into a spreadsheet and goes through that. And she also grew up poor, just like Johnny. Like, everybody on this damn cast grew up poor. They grew up in dirt poor conditions and had to claw their way up. Everybody. Except, I think Brett. Well, except the white people. Yeah. The white people didn't have to do that. The minorities did. But it was just so, I like Bao. I really do. I like her and Johnny together too. We'll get back to them later. Next couple was Brett and Ryan. I don't like either one of these people. What the hell they look like? If they're who I think they are, yeah. I don't like either one of them. I think he's a serial dater, and he's getting married because a friend died, and his friend died, and he was like, I guess he started feeling his mortality. He wanted a wife and family and kids then, so he didn't want to die without nothing. So that's like a bad motivation to get married. So he doesn't really want to do it. He's just doing it so he doesn't die alone. He's being scared into getting married. I don't like that. I don't like any of that. He said he's going on about 50 dates in about 3 to 4 years. He's had about 50 dates. His family was like, no, this is stupid. He doesn't want to get married. He just pretty much scared of dying alone. That's basically all it is. You know, I just didn't like him. I stopped listening to him because he was just full of shit. He really was. It was just like he had no reason to get married, no good reason. He doesn't seem as though he wants to be married. It doesn't seem like he'll even be a good husband. So I don't know what to make of him. Maybe I'll get more attached to him as the season goes, but right now I don't see anything redeeming about him. You got Brett. I don't like her either. She hasn't been on a date in 2 years, she said. She said she's had no sex, no intimacy of any kind. She doesn't have any guy friends, nothing. She hasn't had a kiss in over 2 years. She said she has nothing going on. She said when it comes to a man, she wants quality, not quantity. Like she could get a guy, but she's like, no, I want specific kind of guy. And I want him to be a great person. She wants a relationship first, then the intimacy, which is a fine way to go about it. But she says in her past relationship she's been committed, but they haven't. The other person hasn't been committed, which is a problem. But she's always big on commitment. But she also seems like she's crazy. She says she's crazy. I'm thinking about it. She says she's very crazy. She is. She's obsessive. She goes after stuff. She's not. When she's talking, she seems off. Like she seems like she's fucking crazy, and it throws it off. And I just kind of it's when you see something in these people that's weird or off-putting, you kind of start to be like, I don't know about this. I have both of them seem shallow, but they both seem afraid of being alone. Like her motivation is also I don't want to die alone. So it's like shit. So you got two people that are basically getting married because they're afraid of being by themselves, or they don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and he wants a relationship, but she wants a relationship too. But I don't think that's going to work. I really don't. But I don't know enough about each of them to say why. But it's just a feeling, like, I don't know. She seems crazy. He seems like he don't give a fuck. That's the vibe he puts off. He really don't care. It's whatever to him. So we'll see how that goes. Next couple is Rachel and Jose. I like Rachel. But Rachel is also the same way as Michaela and Bao, and Merla. She's like, I'm not going to change. Like, everything I've been doing, I'm not going to do anything different. I'm going to do exactly what I've been doing single while married, and it sucks for him. If he wants it another way, or not if he wants another way, if it just needs to be another way. She's like, I don't care, I'm not doing it. So, I don't know where to go. I like her a lot. And she's another one whose friends are like, this isn't going to work. Like, her friends, like, so many of these women's friends were like, you don't want to actually be married. It's not going to work. And I don't remember seeing that in the past seasons. I know they did in season, 11 with Willie's friends, but like, it's not going to work. But it did work. But Merla's, Michaela's, Brett's, and Rachel and Jose's friends were like, you don't want to be married. It's not going to work. Like, all their friends were like, this isn't going to work. And you get that vibe that it's not going to work. She says she gained weight during quarantine, and she's lost 30 pounds since. She's trying to get back in shape. She's back in shape. She's feeling good. Her confidence is up. Everything's going great. And she wants someone to be in a relationship with. And she said she was with a guy, and then they quarantined together. They were in quarantine for 6 months, and during that she found out that he had been cheating for 9 months. So they broke up. And her friends told her, you have a commitment problem. Basically, she'll be committed to people, and she won't ignore the signs that it's over. She won't get out when it's obviously a time she needs to get out. and that she's accommodating. She just goes along with whatever the guy says, and she doesn't speak up about her own needs, which is weird because she didn't say that, her friend said that. She says she's not gonna change. She's stuck in her ways. Her friends were like, no, you change. You, whatever the guy wants, you just do that. You don't say anything, even though you want something different. You won't say it. So you just go along with whatever he says. So she's probably a split mind on that. She's saying, "Oh, I'm going to be this way," but in reality, she's a whole other way, which is probably true with her. With Jose, I do not like Jose at all. He is going to be the problem in this relationship because he is perfectionist. He wants everything done a certain way. He wants it specifically. His family was like, "There's not a chance in hell you're going to have a successful marriage at all." Because he's too picky, he's too specific, and he wants everything absolutely perfect the way he wants it and the way it has to be according to him. He doesn't have room in his life for somebody else to make their own decisions. He wants to make decisions for you. And you just do it the way he told you to do it, how he said to do it. That ain't gonna work. He doesn't trust other people. He doesn't want to listen to other people. He doesn't want anything like... There's no way. But he said he doesn't want to get divorced either. He wants to have one wife. Nah, son. Nah. Later they all meet up and Johnny says he wants... What did he say? He said he wants a woman that's kind of clingy. But not psycho clingy. I understand that. I actually like that. I think a lot of the guys say they want a woman that's kind of clingy too, but not like crazy clingy. But you want a woman that's into you. Like Johnny's thing is, I want a woman that's into me. That's been his whole thing from the beginning to the end. I want a woman that likes me, is into me, and wants to do shit with me, that thinks about me. You know, he wants a woman that, you know, he's on her mind. Because he knows that she's going to be on his mind. He knows how he's going to be. He wants to know, is she going to be the same way? Is it going to be reciprocated? Is it like, what is it? So he's just worried about that he's going to love her more than she loves him. That he's going to be into her more than she's into him. So he's like, I really want her to beat me in the clinginess. He's like, because I'm clingy, and I want her to be more clingy than me. You know, and then you got Gil. Gil said that his thing that he told the expert he did not want, he said he did not want a woman that had more than 1,000 IG followers. So he said he does not want an IG model. Jose said the same thing. A lot of the guys were like, yeah, we did not want IG models. We didn't want people on Instagram with followers. He said because that's so fake. And I get it. They didn't want IG models. And Jose said he had specific things that he wanted in a woman. And Johnny was like, yeah, he wants. But then Johnny was like, he had specific stuff. But he was like, Jose takes it even further. Like, he's like down to the damn panties and shit she wear. Like, it's something going on with Jose that I don't understand. It's like, he's off-putting. Like, I'm a dude, and I think he's a fucking creep, and he thinks he's a weirdo. Because it's like, he wants control to a degree that just seems weird. Like, Johnny just wants you to like him a lot. Jose wants to tell you when to breathe in and breathe out. Like, goddamn. So, I don't get that. And they're at the meetup. The girls, and Bao was like, "Oh, I'm an introvert," and I think Merle said she's not. That she's an advert. Like, she could do either one. She could be intro. She could be escrow. She could do whatever. I forgot what she said it was. It was just random bullshit anyway. I can't read my writing, so fuck that. Ryan starts talking about what he wants, and Ryan is just moping. It was like he was just like a downer. Like, he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to do anything. He said he's just nervous and he's worried. But Johnny said Ryan looks like he's had just basically the shit kicked out. Ryan looked like he went to war and he lost the war. He's defeated, a broken down man. because he doesn't want to get married. He wants to just be out there with all these women. It basically, I think that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to get married, but he's like afraid of being alone. He would rather be out here just dating everybody. So now that he's stuck getting married, he is just moping and sad. And he's doing everything except for just shedding tears, man. Even at the fucking bachelor party, Ryan was just like droopy dog. He was just like somebody kicked him in his nuts. He was just not doing good, man. He didn't want to dance. He didn't want to drink. He didn't want to talk. He just wanted to sit in his chair and just mope. And at the thing, when all the girls at the table, every single one of them said that they don't want to compromise in their marriage. They want whatever they say to go, and that's it. If he says something else otherwise, they're getting a divorce. That's basically like all of them. Every single one of them said that. I don't believe all of them. I think it was a lot of cheerleading going on. I believe Michaela because she said it 12 times. That's been her goddamn clarion. That's been her fucking auricular horn. She been blowing this whole fucking time. It's like, I'm not changing shit. She said, I'm not compromising. I'm not doing anything he wants to do. It's what I want to do, and that's it. And what was her name? Oh, this conversation here blew my mind. I think it was Brett. She was like, cards on the table. I haven't been with a guy in about 2 years. No kissing, no nothing in over 2 years. She was like, so that's going to be weird. And Michaela said, well, it's been shorter than that for me. She said, I actually had to tell her fuck buddy had texted her. She's like, I had to tell him I can't because I got matched and I'm getting married. So they get told 2 weeks before the marriage they're getting married. And I think this party was like 10 days, but this meetup was like 10 days before. So the guy she just banging casually was like, hey, let's hook up again. She was like, oh, I can't, I'm getting married. And I was like, wait a minute. So you've been having just random sexual encounters, just banging this whole time, knowing you were going through this process. You just rolled off of a guy into an engagement. You just was like, there's no way she was ready. She wants to get married. She doesn't want to get married. She wants to get married. She doesn't want to be married. She doesn't want to be a wife. She was literally just sleeping with somebody else. And had to say, hold on, stop. I got to go get married. And once she's done with the wedding, she's like, all right, let's get back to it. That blew my mind. And she said it, and nobody else said anything. Like, the girl just kind of blew it off. Like, wait a minute, you was just sleeping with somebody? Like, a little while ago? Like, a day or two ago? And you just had to tell them, oh, not tonight. I got to go get married. That blows my mind. It's because the same thing happened with Chris from last season. And then I think before that, it was Brett. He was just dating. He wasn't just dating a girl and he was like, oh, I can't date no more. We gotta get married. People drug him for that. People got all in the quick. He got a girl pregnant. Like, Michaela is sitting here saying, like, yeah, I just stopped fucking somebody. Like, yesterday. Because I gotta get married. So I had to tell him, like, hey, pull out real quick. I can't do this again. I gotta go get fitted for a dress. There's no way this shit gonna work. There's no way. They have next they have their bachelorette party and bachelor parties. And they're stupid. Except for Michaela. She is just all into this scripper. And she says herself at the bachelorette party, she says, I don't know why they matched me. I'm not ready to be a wife. I don't want to be married. It came out of her mouth. She said it. She said, I'm looking at these other women, these other wives, and looking at me, and I clearly am not ready to be a wife. Because she was ready to fuck the scripper on the right there. She is not, her whole phase is still fully rolling. It ain't over, it ain't done. It's picking up steam. I have no clue why she's here trying to get married. And I feel bad for Zach because Zach is really looking for a wife, someone to be with, let me spend a line with, and she is looking for, I have no idea what she's looking for. It ain't fucking him. It ain't a fucking marriage. She has said she's not looking for, like, I don't know why she's doing this. I really don't. She doesn't know why she's doing this. Bao turns up at the back, but even Bao, again, I'm introverted. She's not. She's all in the scripper. She's all riding the bull. She's like, she's doing everything Michaela's doing, but not to the extreme Michaela is doing it. And then you have Merla and Brett. They're not doing shit. Merla's doing nothing. Shit. And I think, what's her name? Rachel. Rachel is just cheerleading Bao on. And they're looking like, I thought Bao said she was introverted. It doesn't seem like it. And then the guys aren't doing shit at their bachelor party. I think Gil was dancing with a stripper. Like the stripper was on one pole, he was on another pole. He was dancing. Whatever she did, he did. He tore his pants open. Ryan was just moping. Just sad bastard. Johnny was doing nothing. He was acting like he was having fun, but he wasn't. I think Johnny was having more fun with the guys than he would with the strippers. I think Zach was the same way. He didn't really care about the strippers at all. None of that dance and stuff. He was really enjoying being with the dudes more. I think the dudes had more fun together than the girls did. Yeah, just Ryan, just having a bad. I hope his name is Ryan. Ryan. I'm trying to remember his name correctly. After this, we only show one wedding. It's Johnny and Bao's. They exchanged gifts. Is that what they did first? Yeah, they get they go and they buy their dresses and suits. I like Johnny's suit a lot. I like that red he has, that red flavor. He says it's big in Asian cultures. I don't know if that's true or not. I guess he would know he's Asian. But I know it looks good on him. And Bao had a great dress. She picked a dress. She wanted a dress with pockets. I never heard of that. A wedding dress with pockets, but she found a couple of them with pockets. And she had a nice dress too. The gifts that she gave him was a husband survival kit. And she wrote a card, and the card had just a bunch of jokes and silly stuff in it. And then he sent her some jerseys. They blurred the jerseys out, so I can't think who they were. I'm thinking that they were like Houston Astros. No, they were because they were red and black. Houston Oilers. No, Houston Texans. They blurred them out so you couldn't tell. Well, you can see what color they were. It was red and looked like blue or navy blue, black, something like that. So it must have been the Texans. They got so many goddamn teams in Houston. And she got upset because she said she doesn't want a sports guy. She's like, I don't want no jock. She said she kept saying she wants a nerdy guy. And she was sitting there and she was like ready to call the wedding off because it was crazy. She like ready to like, no. She like, if he's some jock or some sports guy, I don't want that. I want a nerd. She wants somebody that's intellectual, not physical. She wants somebody that's smart because she was like, I work with cancer doctors, Nobel Prize winners, geniuses. She's like, I don't want some bro. She's like, I don't want some frat guy, bro, sports dude. And she was just sitting there like, oh my God, they matched me with something. But she was like, but she said she trusted the experts. She believed in the process. And she was just sitting there just disillusioned. Like, why would they match me with some sports dude, some football player? Like, why would they do that? Like, that can't be. She's like, that can't be what it is. Why would they do that? I specifically said, I don't want that. And Johnny is not that. But she doesn't know that. Johnny is geeky and nerdy as she is. They're the same. Except one's a guy, one's a woman. So But she musters up and she goes out there and do it. And this whole thing, she's like, I don't want a sports guy. Johnny and his friends are all huddled up and fucking like chanting like, yeah, we gonna do that. It was she's having a goddamn existential crisis and he's just like broing it up and it's like so he goes out to the hall, I guess the wedding hall, and he's standing there to the altar. I get my words mixed up. And she's not coming. They're waiting on her. And she finally decides to go. She said, you know what, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to see it. Because she said, I believe in the experts. She believes in the science of it. That they didn't put her with somebody that she clearly couldn't match with. And she walks out there and she looks up and she says, oh my God, it's Johnny. And he looks at her and he's like, it's Bao. And so it was like, oh, they know each other. And she's just laughing, he's laughing and freaking out. But you can also see on Johnny, like, there's this huge relief. Because he's like, oh, it's Bao. It's like, and she's like a relief for her. She's like, it's Johnny. Like, so she's like, what's up? So then he was like, yeah. And the priestess and the priest over the ceremony, she's like, well, me for the first time here. Because they like, no, we know each other. So it was clear they knew each other to everybody. Because she was like, hey, Johnny. Like, they see walking down the aisle. Like, hey, Johnny. Like, what's up, Bao? And he said, I got to take my vows around. Because he wrote the vows as like somebody he didn't know. But he was like, oh, this is Bao. I know her. And she's like, this is Johnny. I know him. So they have beautiful vows. He has this big, long message. And she wrote a poem. It was sweet. Both of their things was sweet, but the wording kind of didn't work because they knew each other. And then afterwards, you know, he asked her, like, they say kiss the bride. He was like, well, can I give you a kiss? She was like, go ahead. You know, it's fine. And even though they knew each other, taking the pictures was awkward because Johnny explains, like, they never dated. They knew each other in college because she was the president of some super ridiculous long club at the University of Texas, and he was the president of the exact same super long ridiculous club for the University of Houston. So they always did events and went to places together. So they worked together basically, and they communicated a lot with each other. So they knew each other. They never dated because she said, you know, in college he was kind of like a hoe. He went like he had all the girls and everybody liked him and stuff like that. And Johnny was like, well, Bao was kind of always like, she didn't like me. She's off limits, so I never really thought anything of her. I never even tried anything with her. You know, because he was like, she was always like, you know, just that, she was of that caliber. He was like, I wouldn't do anything with Bao. But they knew each other. They knew each other as like friends and colleagues and went to college together. And then later they're talking, and then he was like, you know, it's weird because we know each other, so when I saw you, it was kind of like a relief. And she said the same thing. She's like, yeah, when I came out, when she came down the aisle and she looked and she saw that it was him, she was like, oh, they matched me with Johnny. She's like, that makes sense. Both of them said the same thing. That makes sense. They were like, we are basically the same. She was like, yeah, okay, I can see how they matched us. Okay. Because I know him and he knows me. So she like, I know him and what he does and about him and how he is. That matches me. And he was the same way. Like, yeah, I know her. I know everything about her. I know how she is, how she acts, her behavior, what likes, dislikes. It matches with me. So he was like, they both were like, I can see why we were paired together. It actually makes sense. This can actually work. And he was like, I just never thought you liked me. And she was like, well, she saw him on dating apps, and he was like, you never swiped him? And she was like, I always put you in the maybe because I knew you. I didn't want to just like get rid of you, but I didn't want to date you either, so I just kind of like put you in the maybes. And he was like, if you'd just swipe right, then we wouldn't have to do all this. I like them, and they like each other. And they understand why they were mad. That's probably the biggest thing to validate the experts is those two were like, we know why we were put together. And they would have never done, even though they knew, they never would have came together on their own. That's what's nice about it, because they were just avoiding each other because they thought, like, no, that's not my thing. Like, she thought he was out here holding it up, and he thought she was just too good for him. And now they're together, and he's like, this is gonna work. And that was it. I like Bao and Johnny the most out of all the couples. I don't know anything about none of the other couples. I don't think Michaela and Zach has a chance in hell at all. No chance. I don't think Jose and Rachel got a shot in hell. Everybody else kind of so-so for now. So, but we'll see. Hopefully this season goes great. That's my thoughts. Well, they had a tea ceremony too, because Johnny asked Bao. He said, "I wanted to ask you. I'm nervous about asking you. It's tradition in Asian countries to have a tea ceremony after the wedding." And Bao was like, "You were nervous about that?" He was like, "Yeah." She said, "Well, I wanted to talk to you because I wanted to insist that we have a tea ceremony after." So he was like, "Oh, so we were thinking the same thing." They were like, "Yeah, we did the same thing." They're like their colors matching, their attitudes matching, their thoughts are matching. So when they said, "Yeah, we can absolutely see why we put it together. We can absolutely see why our marriage would work," I believe them. But those are my thoughts. What are yours? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hit me up. Tell me what I'm doing wrong, or if you don't agree with what I think, I'll be more than happy to hear it, man. I'm happy to be doing this again. I really enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy it too. So I'll see y'all next time, man. Peace.